week. Today we'll be discussing the concepts and solutions for the second test that we discussed that we shared with you on fractions, decimals, and percentage. So let's go over the question one by one. A sign at the fish market says, and this was our first question, that 50% off today only. Half-pound packages for just $3 per package. What is the regular price for a full pound of fish of dollars? So what the student has to make sure that he takes into account both that what we are given is not only a discounted price but also just for a half-pound package. So the process that the student had to go through was this. What we are given is that half-pound discount price is $3. There are basically two steps that the student has to go through. One time accounting for going from the discount price to the regular price, which doubles it to 6, and next time accounting for half pound to the full pound, which again doubles the price. So the actual answer that the student should be getting is actually 12. Alright, okay, let's look at the next question. This is basically a common percentage question where you have two or three people and three or more people, and percentages increase or decrease are given from a particular reference person. Okay, so let's look at this question. James has 20% more money than Yao, and Bob has 20% less money than James. Okay, what percent less money does Bob have than Yao? Okay, so if you see, basically the reference person in this case is actually Yao, right? And from Yao we go to James. James we come to Bob, and Bob we again go to Yao. Okay, so we see a 20% increase here, a 20% decrease here, and this is what we want to understand, what is happening here. So the way this could have been solved, and let me get the marked part out of here. Is basically starting with my reference of Yao and assuming that okay, he has X. Wait, there's one more part left. Let me erase that quickly. Yeah. So I've already started with Yao and I've taken that as my reference X. So James basically has 20% more than X, right? So then I start with James. I basically say that okay, James has what Yao has plus 20% more of what Yao has. 20% comes out to be around 0.2. So this whole thing becomes 0.2x. Alright. So x plus 0.2x becomes 1.2x. Now basically when we are considering for Bob, we have to take into account that he has 20% less than James, not less than Yao. So what he has is what James has, basically 1.2x, and we have to subtract 20% of what James has. Now 20% of 1.2x is around 0.24x. When you subtract that, you get 0.96x, and based on what we already know about Yao, that he has x, we can say that Bob has 1 minus 0.96x, which is 0.04x less than Yao. We can easily use these two values to find the percentage, which comes out to be 4%. A simpler way always in this, which students can actually use in their examinations, is to start with a basic reference number, which is 100. Okay, so let's just, which this makes the question actually very simple. We start with let's Yao have 100. Okay, so what James has is 100 plus 20% of 100, which is 120, and we can easily find out that Bob has 20% less than James. Okay, so he has 120 minus 20% of 120. Okay, so we'll have a 0 here, sorry for that. 120 minus 24, which is 96. All right, so what Bob has is basically 4 less than Yao, and we know it is out of 100 because Yao has 100. So Bob has 4% less than Yao. Okay, so 4% was an answer. I hope you can Whichever method you're more comfortable with, you can actually use it. There's no problem with that. For future, when you'll be taking bigger examinations, you'll be sitting for SAT, GMAT, GRE. It is suggested that you have the second method in your arsenal so that you can do these questions faster. It is always better to talk with your teacher in the school and find out if they approve of this method more. If not, then of course you can use this one. The next question is basically on recurring decimal, and it is a question that every student has to pass through if he's studying decimal. So this question is actually not difficult. There's a very basic trick that you have to do with this, and the trick is this. You start with the number, okay? You start with the number x, which is a recurring decimal, so you have 0.35353535, and then you have to multiply it with the power of 10, okay? What power of 10 depends on the number of digits, okay? Number of digits that are recurring. So for example, here I have two digits recurring all the time, right? I have 353535. So that is why I have multiplied with 10 to the power 2. If I had one digit recurring, I would be multiplying with 10. If I had four digits recurring, I would be multiplying with 10 to the power 4. Now see how that makes it easy for us. For example, you see 100x, we have got 35.3535353535. Now another property that was actually being tested in this is whether can you separate uh, a number that is greater than 0 from a number that is not less than 0, basically between 0 and 1. So can you separate whole numbers at one side and the decimals on the other? Okay, so if you have 35.353535, this recurring decimal, you can write the whole number part, which is 35, separately, and all the decimal part separately. Now this is where the question becomes clear, because the whole decimal part that you have written extra is actually x. Okay, and from there it is a simple solving procedure. You bring x to the left hand side. You have 100x minus x, 100x minus x, and this is equal to 35. So at the end you're getting 99x, which is equal to 35, and x is 35 over 99. Alright, so this gives us as the correct answer C. Go through it properly. You can also try out a question like, suppose if you're given to find 0.259, suppose you have this recurring decimal, you can go through the same procedure, but after you take it as x, you will be multiplying with 1000, okay, because there are three digits. All right, when you're doing it for 0. Let's say 6 only, because there is only one digit, you'll be multiplying only with 10. Okay, remember this, and this is just the one time you have to understand, because you have to go through this. If you're studying decimal, this question will come in front of you. Okay, next question was a little lengthy, but if you keep track of everything properly, you would actually get it. So we are given that in a middle school mentoring program, a number of sixth graders are paired with a ninth grade student as a buddy. Okay, no ninth grader is assigned more than one sixth grade buddy. Okay, so basically what is happening, this is when you grow up you'll find out this is called 1-1 mapping. Don't worry about the mapping word. This just what this says, basically every sixth grader has only one ninth grade, and every ninth grade has only one sixth grade. Okay, so there is only one matching done here. Now the next information shared with us is that one third of all ninth graders are paired, and 2/5 of all sixth graders are paired. And we are asked what fraction of the total number of sixth and ninth graders have a buddy. Okay, so the way to solve this is simple. You start with the number of sixth graders that were selected. Okay, so basically that number is just x, and because every sixth grader is paired to a ninth grader, the number of ninth graders selected will also be x. Total number of students selected will become 2x. Okay, so we have a ratio that we need to find out by total number of people who have a buddy by total number of students. So total number of people who have a buddy is 2x. But the next question is, how do we find the total number of students? Okay, So here we use the fact that 1/3 of all ninth graders are paired with 2/5 of all sixth graders, which means 1/3, 1 by 3, and let me denote all the number of people in ninth grade by, let's say, T9. This is equal to X, right? Which means T9 is equal to 3. I'm sorry about the pen, we are working on this. We promise you'll not have this problem from the third video. Okay, so what you're getting is total number of ninth graders is 3x. Apply a similar principles, let's say 2 by 5 of T6. T6 is the total number of students in grade 6. This is equal to x. So we find out that T6 is also equal to 5 by 2x. Okay, so this is just what we have done. Now I get that, okay, total number of 6th graders is 2.5x, total number of 9th graders is 3x. So total number of students is actually 5.5x. Alright. And then you just find the ratio between the total number of people who have buddies by total number of students. So you get 2x by 5.5x, which is 2 by 5.5. And then if you simplify and multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, you'll get 4 by 11, which is your answer B. Alright. Okay, let's look at the last question. The last question was also not very difficult, but what you had to understand, the concept we are testing, is whether you are comfortable with scientific notation or not. If you're comfortable with scientific notation, this question becomes very simple. So what basically you have to do is, when you have a number like this in decimals, you can write it as in scientific notation. So what you do, if you have a lot of zeros, you start moving this decimal one by one. Okay, until it goes after one of the whole numbers. Okay, so you have something like 3.15 and you went back 4 times, right? So this comes out to be 10 to the power minus 4. All right, now in the second case it is actually opposite. Now I have a lot of number before the decimal place, right? The decimal place is somewhere here. Now I want to move it front one by one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, such that there is only one number left before the decimal. Okay, so I get a number like 7.928 into 10 to the power positive 6. Positive because I was moving on in the left hand direction, and 6 because I moved 6 times. Okay, now the second thing is, are you comfortable with rounding the number? Okay, so basically what we do is, like, after the point, if this number is 4 or less, we don't change this. Okay, this does not change. But if after the decimal you have 5 or above, you increase this by 1. So 7.9 actually becomes 8. Okay, and now if you multiply both the numbers, 3 and 8 simply become 24. And 10 to the power minus 4 and 10 to the power 6, basic exponents you need. When you multiply these, your power will actually become minus 4 plus 6, which is 2. So the end product that you should be getting is 2400.